Good afternoon. This is Bob from Trade Genius. It's Wednesday, the 13th of April, and let me talk about the market a little bit today. So, on Monday, I was talking about the yen, and the yen is very important because this is what they use to fund when they want to put risk on. And they've been having a hard time with the yen. It was getting too strong. When the yen's too strong, that means people are closing trades. And just ironically, on Monday, they had a meeting with the Fed and then with Obama. And that night, I said, you know what, we're going to see the top of the yen tonight. And sure enough, we did. And so if you look here, this is a Fibonacci line. And what I did was, when you look at these things, is I looked at the last high, and then I went back to that low, which is here. And what I'm expecting, which almost ties perfectly, the map on this is nice and neat if it happens, is that a couple things have come together. So we have a top here which should be support for the yen to go back higher again, which would weaken the markets. We have a 50% retracement line, which is a natural line for a reversal, and we have a low volume node area, and the market likes to seek those out. And there's also one here about a 38% level. So I'm still of the belief that it's going to drop down to touch this 50% line and act as support here, and then for this to come back up. And so in the meantime, until it does that, they're going to use this as fuel to drive the market higher. And also this will drive the miners lower. And this is one of the reasons why I got into dust on Monday. So if I look here and we go into ES, is that we had a very interesting day in ES. Some things have happened. And so when you look at ES is the, and I'll scale down to a lower time period, but on the daily is that we have broken the double top today. And we'll see if that acts as resistance and brings it back down in this channel. If it does, it'll be short term, because this area here is what's called a volume point of control. This is the most volume of the last 6 months occurred at this price level. And these algorithmic traders, they like to go for the high volume areas and the low volume areas, and I think it's going to go and test this. What happens here makes a difference. So this could be the 38% line when we talk about the yen. This could be the 50% line when we talk about the yen. And this area here could be the 38% line when we talk about the yen. So these are all areas I'm watching for potential reversals. Do we reverse here? I don't think so. We may get a couple days down. We go into Yellen, we move up higher. I think this is going to be a little bit more resistance. This is the all-time high. Well, not really all-time high. The last, I think the August high, and then this area, obviously there's volume up here, and this is the top of the value range. So I'm thinking that we're still going to just try to test this, but it's going to start getting increasingly more difficult, and people are going to get increasingly more nervous as we go into summer. And there's some big news events coming too, so I don't know if people are going to want to be in front of any of that. So anyway, that's the ES, and let me just go down to a smaller time frame because I don't trade off the daily. Okay, let me zip into the hourly here a little bit. Okay, and you can see the better here to hit a resistance 2 line. And so I'm looking at, hey, tomorrow, if we, as I'm thinking out loud, is either if we test overnight. Oops, I did this yesterday too. I hate when I do this. So if we could test overnight the point of control and then come back down into this channel. That's one option. Or the overnight comes down like this and comes back up, or even a little bit further. But I'm not expecting big weakness. So, but I'm not discounting it either. And then if we go into some of the trades that we're in, let me just show you some really interesting things that have been happening in the market. So we're short GDX with dust, and this area here is we got a head and shoulder pattern here. Shoulder, it is gap up, head, shoulder, and then if we open up down here, This would be called an island reversal, bearish, and I'm expecting this market to go down another dollar from there. I'm long-term bullish on miners, but they got way, way, way ahead of themselves. And what's supporting me in my conviction here is my signal is embedding down, and which means that instead of it being a place to buy, it's telling me that, hey, we have more weakness to come. So this usually plays itself out 2 or 3 days, so we'll see what happens. And right now the trades around 224. I'm looking for maybe another 60 cents higher on dust as a potential gain. So we'll see what happens. Just breezing through some other things that we own. We're in XON, and let me maximize here again. I don't know why it's popping me out all the time. So I have nothing open, so I don't know why it's delaying me. But we have XON, and we're in at 34.50, and this is a trade I'm not too worried about on the low side because there's some big news pending that is most certainly going to be positive. I think people are just positioning it. These shorts keep getting whacked. I'm getting out at 36.22 is my limit right now, and almost took out today. That would give us a 5% gain on this trade, and but it could push up into the mid 37s. But like I said, I'm not getting greedy. This thing's bouncing around so much that I may be able to get back into it on a retrace and trade it again. But we're starting to get a little long in the tooth here on my signal, so we'll see what tomorrow brings. The grains absolutely went bonkers today, and I'm pretty excited about that. I've been telling people, put these in your non-trading portfolio and just sit on them. These things are going up 20 to 50%. We have BAL in that account. Look at BAL; it's like a freight train. We're in at 38. It's at 40.68 right now. We're in MOS. And why are we in MOS? Because they provide the fertilizer, and when the grains are making more money, the farmers put more money into their fields, or because the yields are lower, they're putting fertilizer in to try to boost the yields back up. But MOS just had a rocking 2 days. We're in MOO. MOO's starting to move. And then we're also in DBA, and this one's lagging a little bit, but it's getting some strength because it owns some other things besides the grains, but they look like they're coming back. They also have sugar, cattle, and chocolate in it. So, but anyway, I'm not trading these. I'm holding these, and literally I'm going to look at them in June. I'm going to look at them in September, and they're just going to. I think we're going to get a couple pops on this. The weather is cooperating as I think it's going to, in terms of we're going to have some shortages of grains and to eat into the reserves. And let's see if there's anything left I want to talk about. You know, my old standby XIV is we're good, and we're out of that trade as of today. And so for those kind of doing some day trading on it outside of the signal service, but I think we pushed this thing up pretty hard. Now, you know, what I'm counting on is a little bit of a pushback again, and for us to run this thing back up over 27 and just keep making money on this thing. But it's just been a great trade, and but we double topped here, and it's been trending down, and we've been catching every one of these bottoms, and we're just making 2, 3, 4% at a time. And like I said, this is my bread and butter, and I'm just going to keep driving it. So anyway, hey, one last thing is check on the website. We're going to start some training, show you guys a little bit about how I go about setting up my charts, signals that I use, and helping you guys make money and teaching how to fish a little bit. So go check on the website, but we think we're going to do one next Thursday. So, okay, have a great day. Bye-bye.